To the little man.
Hey, I saw this video, and it said when a woman is with a guy and he doesn't have any vision, she doesn't have anything to submit to, and that's when she gets, attitudey maybe, or maybe she might get disrespectful or something because you haven't given her something to submit to. What do you guys think about that?
Question.
Oh man, he's passionate. He's passionate.
Yeah,
He's ready to talk.
I was ready to say, but go ahead.
I think a lot of stuff we make it more complicated to make it sound better of all the things that are necessary. Did this come from a Christian person at all? Do you know?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
If it didn't come from a Christian, I'll let you go first.
I'll say this. There's some truth to that. I think women do look for leadership. Okay. How can I say this? Because they gonna not like that comment.
No, that's the one we want.
Yeah, we need the views. Go ahead, go
for it. But no, like I do think. Okay, you hear a lot of the times like, I want to be in my soft girl era, or I want to be submissive or feminine, but my man doesn't allow me to do that, to be that. And then a lot of times I hear that, I'm just like, that's weird. Like, you should be in your feminine regardless, right? But if everybody's saying it, there's got to be some type of truth to it, right? So I can agree to that to a degree. Like, if there's a man who's unstable, who isn't very visionary and stuff like that, it can irritate the woman more, especially when she doesn't fully confident in your position to lead, right? But what I would say to those women is, depending on the morality of your man or who you're with, like if he's a God-fearing man, if he's a good man to you, regardless, like you should forego some of the thing, because I think it's more so of a control thing. Like, people like to control where they're going, or like to have some type of idea of what's going on, and when they feel like it's undeterminable here, they'll kind of go away, right? But if your attitude is contributing to the fact that this man is not able to do the things that you want him to do, and he doesn't feel your support behind decisions or encouragements behind that remedies all your issues. To me, in most cases, that's going to remedy things. Now, if you're doing that and he's still not doing things, then okay, I get that more, right? But and at like a house divided against itself will not stand. So if you're divided on your mentality on like what he should be doing, and he's like, well, you're not respecting me, because that's what a man wants, is respect. And if you're got attitude all the time because you don't like his leadership, or vice versa, he's gonna have a tougher time doing his job. You're gonna have a tougher time feeling confident. It's just gonna be divided. So somebody has to give. And that's why you should be a Christian, because you should follow Christ. Because guess what? Christ is going to be the regulator.
He's got the plan.
And he's got the plan. So guess what? When my man or my woman, whoever, you're woman or girl, whatever, okay? If they don't have it, we know that God has the plan. He's the visionary. And so that's what we put our trust in.
Absolutely.
So it makes it a lot more simpler. You're great way that you put it. You said something that triggered me to say, like, women in these days who aren't Christian, or they look to their men to literally be their God in some sense. Like, they have to make me happy. Like, nobody should have to make you happy.
Nobody.
They have to provide for me. They have to take care of my needs physically, on par. They have to do everything for me, and they have to be this height. They have to have this amount of money. Like, and then I'll do whatever they want. Then I'll be the softest version. I'll submit fully.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, you submit fully to Christ.
Come on.
And then it's easy to have a man who's also going to be submissive under Christ as well. Listen, that's the thing. That's where you find your submission. So do that. And be sweet to your husbands. Because guess what? You be sweet to them. Think about it like this, and I'm gonna stop yapping. Dude, like, when you look at a baby, when you look at the fourth good God, that is a cute kid, right?
Yeah, I made a good.
That just makes you want to protect it, right? Like, absolutely. It's something about kids, that little kids that are just so beautiful. It's just like, I want to make sure that kid is good. I want to see him smiling. I want to see him happy. If you're a sweet wife, guess what? That's all we're gonna want to do.
Yeah.
all we're gonna want to do is be like, I want to protect her. I want to make sure she's happy. She's such a sweetheart. She's so nice to me. She cooked for me. She rubbed my back.
Yeah,
you know, whatever. She massaged my head.
And
it
let's
makes
pause right there for a second.
Listen,
cooking and rubbing a man's back, it go a lot further than people think it
man,
would.
listen,
They gonna hurt
good
you.
advice today, boy.
Listen, you can do
dropping
some things
gems.
if you rub somebody back. And
listen.
you cook a good
I
meal.
guarantee you go home right now to your man. You cook him a hot meal, or you bring him home his favorite meal. If you can't
My
cook,
wife
it's
be
okay.
cooking. My wife be cooking.
And you rub his back. You watch a movie with him, man. Listen. Or you just wherever he's at. If he's playing the game, he's playing 2K, rub his back. Just relax and chill with him. Guess what? You know how much that'll do for that.
I'm telling you.
You know what I mean?
It'll change some
I love
things.
it.
Listen.
Yeah, but this,
If you ain't did that in a while, what's wrong with you?
Now you preaching. You telling the truth, shaming the devil.
But yeah, I mean that goes a long way. But like I said, it's something about there's an innate thing I believe that are in men to want to protect things that they hold dear, find precious. If you are not being a precious person to me, I don't want to protect you for nothing. Like, let's just be real about it. Like, you know, if your girl been nasty to you for a week and she happened to trip, you gonna be like, oh baby, you okay? But in the back of your mind, you like
God don't like ugly.
yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe not trip or hurt herself, because I think hurting themselves, like even in an argument, if they get hurt or something like that goes out the window for me. I gotta make sure they're okay. But you know, if they food fall on the ground or whatever, I'm going upstairs. I'm not even gonna say nothing about it. I'm just be like, oh well,
wasn't my food.
Wasn't my food. I ate good.
Couple things. One, as far as a woman being soft, I'll be honest with you. Soft is how you should be before you meet him.
Then I'm gonna let you finish. I got stuff to say too.
So if you weren't soft before you met him, it's not his fault that you're not soft in the relationship.
Ooh-wee.
Agreed.
That's the first thing.
Let me just interject real quick. I'm gonna let you finish.
Go ahead.
Because that's just like a man being like, I'm in my feminine era until I find a woman that wants me to lead for her. It's like, what the what?
I'll be masculine when I get my
I'll
woman.
be masculine when the right woman comes, then I'll be masculine.
Like me not having a job or anything right now.
What?
I wouldn't have a girlfriend right now if I didn't already have something in place.
Oh, sorry. But I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
No, you good. So, but I think that's something that people need to think about. Saying what you're not because of what your spouse isn't is a problem. You should be what you should be at all times. When your spouse isn't something, you continuing to be that should highlight their errors to make them want to change. And if that does not happen, in the few cases where a break is acceptable, you continuing to be the person that you're supposed to be will be highlighted even more. It's even more of a benefit for you. You should never let how another person is stop you from being who and how you are supposed to be. Be your best at all times, no matter what. That works out best for you in every situation.
Exactly. It kind of goes back. I had a whole debate with my wife years ago about like servers and stuff like that.
Oh, I
and
love
then she was
those debates.
talking about like how, you know, black folks come in and they asking for the world and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I'm not about to be at this table doing, like she's talking about, I'm not about to be at this table doing all this crazy stuff, and they're not even gonna tip me, right? And I'm just like, what if you just consistently gave good service the whole time? It just, you know, you did your best. You know, there's gonna be people that are gonna complain, they're gonna not tip, whatever. But guess what? There's an opportunity there to where somebody in that group of crazy folks is like, you know what, they really working hard for us, even though we, you know, acting a mess. Let me make sure I take care of them. You miss that opportunity every time if you don't just consistently give good service. So that should be the standard.
And that's scripture. Do everything you do as though you do it unto the Lord.
Exactly. That should
And
be
plus, I used to wait tables. I'm gonna tell you right now, even when they don't tip you, when you don't do a good job, your rating changes, which means the tables that you have the opportunity to wait on changes, which means your opportunity to make even more money on your job changed because you allowed somebody else to dictate your level of service. Never do that. Be your best at all times, period. That's always what's best for you.
Yeah, I remember I used to be on the phones when I worked my banking job previously, and I was and I would get in the mentality of like, because I would get tired of calling people and they'd be like, I don't want to talk to you. No, you know, whatever. My thing was this: my mentality had to change. I was like, listen, I got this good news for people that can actually help them. If they don't want it, too bad. Oh, they just lost an opportunity. I had to start viewing it in that way because you've been a way of like, I'm just getting a bunch of no's. Like, I'm not getting the sales that I want. It's just like, no, I'm giving them options to actually help them, which is literally what's happening. And they don't want to take it. And I'm just like, well, that sucks for you. And I'm not going to waste my time trying to super convince you. Like, I'm going to give you one objection, like, and I'll counter it. And then if you're like, I'm not wasting my time. All right, goodbye, sir. Thank you. Peace. On to the next. Somebody going, and so, but like you said, it has to do with the consistency. You should always be that soft. You should be the wife that you want to be for your great husband that you want him. You know what I'm saying? You should be that already. Or you should be striving for that if you're not all the way there yet, or you don't feel like you're all the way there yet. Or you should be realistic and like, hey, I got an attitude problem. And if you're upfront with people and say like, hey, I do have an attitude problem, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to try to be my best and do whatever. Okay, people can work with that with you. We're black men. We dealt with black women all our lives. Mm-hmm. And what we deem as attitude is probably not the same to some of our counterparts. Because like, we're just used to, I don't know, I wouldn't even call it attitude. It's just fluff to me. Mm-hmm. Like, like, because you look at your black women were around, you're like, you doing all that talking, like you ain't talking about nothing. To do nothing. Exactly. It's just it's a bunch of extra, like you just playing up. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Were you done, Miles?
No. So the next thing I was gonna say is,
well, I didn't get in on that topic.
Oh,
I didn't know if you was done with the topic.
So, because that was just first.